So,
This is politics. They ain't moving.
yeah. No.
No. And it would have to be really bad for someone like me to move. I don't even know if I would ever move. I'm never leaving. This is my home. So, I mean, I heard you talk about like young men are having a hard time finding women and this, that, and the other. I don't know if it's worse than, I mean, how do we quantify that, right?
Right.
How do we know if it's worse? I mean, sometimes it's just hard growing up and finding a spouse. Shocker, you know, breaking news there. You just got to wait it out and find the right one, I guess. Might have to mess up a few times along the way.
Right.
So when it comes to that, it's just give it time. Make yourself get out.
Yes.
I think gosh, I sound old when I say this. I think our young people just have a hard time getting out, talking with people, becoming social. It's like, I don't feel like it every day, but I have to make myself.
Right. No, and I've been, the class that I teach that basically is speech, I do a section on media literacy, and one of the things that I bring out is it's not just the media itself, it's the devices that we're using and what kind of impact they have on us, especially as it relates to our relationships, even with ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, how it's changed us. And I see this all the time when I walk into classes before they're starting. When I was in college, I mean, you would have little groups that would be in conversations about this or that or whatever. Now you walk in and all of them are just like this.
They have a hard time talking with people. And that's the case, I think, for a lot of people my age, too.
Yeah.
Maybe not as bad. And I see grown adults your age, too. Some people just have a hard time with it.
Right.
But I think that a lot of people, younger people, are having a hard time getting out of their comfort zone, getting pushed a little. I'm not saying that we don't have issues. That's, of course, the case. You get out of your comfort zone. Talk to people. Become a part of clubs. There's a bajillion of them that are dying for people to be a part of it.
Yeah.
You know, we have YPG here. That's a great place for young people. You have to own a business. You have to do anything. Just be a young worker in town.
Right.
Join a gym. Go to CrossFit. Go to a church if that's your thing. I know churches are dying for young people to come, you know, and join. So it's not hard to be a part of something. Just get out of your comfort zone a little bit.
Yeah.
And I could say it because I'm one of them. I know how it is. So.
Yeah.
So you gotta get out of there. And not every day I feel like talking to everybody and coming here or being social.
I think it has enriched your life that you get to go out in the community every day and talk to people about interesting things that are happening, and you have a much different outlook on the community than people that just sort of, from a cursory standpoint, are saying, okay, there was a shooting here, there was this there.
100%.
So that's why
a great point. And like if you actually get out there and realize what's going on in your community, and you're not just getting the viewpoint of shooting, bad.
Right.
You actually can talk with people, understand your community.
Yeah.
We have a community problem, you know, in small towns, big cities. We just don't have that neighborly attitude anymore. And it's not hard.
Yeah.
It's not hard.
I mean, even things as simple as going to the grocery store where you interact with people. Now people, like, you can do this through Walmart, order your groceries online, have them delivered.
That's one thing I'm okay with. If I never have to go into a grocery store again.
See, I like going to the grocery store.
Oh my God.
Really? You
I
hate
can't.
it?
And look, I'm not calling out a particular grocery chain or store. I'm sorry. They're all depressing. Like, if you walk in them, they're all just depressing places to me.
That's interesting.
And then they take my money. The only one that I really liked in my country travels, living in different places, is Publix. Publix was very bright, cheery, extraordinarily expensive compared to Walmart. But it was fun and cheery.
That is an interesting point, because if you kind of look at the way the lighting is, you have these big, daunting aisles with just stacks and stacks of food. It does feel a little industrial.
Yeah, and they have what they call like millennial white and gray in people's homes, businesses. I hate it. Like, we have no character in our architecture anymore like we did back in the good old days.
Yeah.
And it's just so bland, and there's no character to anything. I hate to sound like an 80-year-old right here, but...
Yeah, one of my early memories growing up in a neighborhood on the south side of Milwaukee was you would find on street corners little grocery stores.
Yeah.
And it was basically like a duplex where the family lived upstairs and then downstairs was the grocery store.
Yeah.
And I remember going, and it was an older man who ran it. It was just a small grocery store, but we would go there and we would buy, my mom would usually buy us like some candy too, like those candy necklaces that you wear.
Yeah.
Things like that. But it probably closed when I was 6 or 7, somewhere around that age. And then it just I think it's just like last time I drove past, it just shuttered, or maybe people live in there. I don't know, but
well, that's a corporate issue too.
Yeah,
big corporations are taking over a lot of those smaller businesses, and I think that's a problem too.
Yeah.
I mean, I appreciate what corporations do a lot of the time. Like Walmart's simple, it's easy, but there's a downside to it as well.
Yeah,
I know we're going down a whole different thing here, but
do you think the neighborhood markets, they've tried to make them a little more homey?
Yeah, they're okay. I like the one on Jackson. It's fine.
Yeah.
And the one in Pineville. I mean, it's just...
Yeah.
It's a little... I would change it if I had the money.
But it's not like Mr. Hooper's grocery store from Sesame Street.
That's right. Exactly. But yeah, going back to the... sometimes you have the attitude of grass is always greener.
Yes.
Because sometimes, I'm going to be honest, if you get on TikTok algorithms, which I'm telling you a lot of millennials and Gen Zers are doing, honestly, probably Gen Xers too, they start just getting fed how... If you start interacting with a America is bad video, you're going to get a bunch of America is bad videos.
Yeah.
And then you're going to get a bunch of like Trump is bad videos. And I have my criticisms of them too.
Yeah.
But you get fed these things constantly. And you start to really get into that mindset and that belief. And it may be hard for a lot of people to understand, but when your world is a cell phone, and the majority of my world is a cell phone too, you can be like, oh my God, was I completely wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I get on TikTok too. Not as much as I used to, so I have time. You'll get fed like China is this amazing beacon of the world. Like we have the more technology, we have safer cities. You'll get fed that constantly.
Yeah.
And that's no joke. And I'm sure China has some great things, but you're only going to see the good parts of it.
Yeah.
Because we know there are some unsavory parts of China, I'm sure. But I don't know. It's just different media outlets, and you can't control it as much as you could back in the day with 3 networks.
True. That's right. All right, we'll take a break. More coming up.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics.
This is Dr. Jonathan Hunter. At The Clinics, your health is our priority. Whether it's a routine checkup or ongoing care, we are here for you. Dr. Noah Miller, our newest family medicine physician, along with 5 other dedicated family physicians, are now accepting new patients. Schedule your appointment today. And remember, if you're ever admitted to the hospital, our doctors will see you there too. Most insurance and Medicare are accepted. The Clinics, 1587 North Bolton, 445-9823, online at theclinics.us.
Oh, this party is a blast. Thanks. The community center here at England Airpark has been so easy to work with. They let me pick my own caterer, decorator, and DJ, and they handle the rest. I definitely recommend them for your upcoming 40th birthday party. You mean the 29th?
Make your special occasion more memorable. Book the community center at England Airpark. For availability and details on rental agreements and event planning services, visit englandairpark.org.
Some smiles sound like this, while others sound this way. If you'd like to improve the way your smile sounds, the folks over at Today's Dental in Pineville can deliver. Over the years, hundreds of Central Louisiana patients have visited Today's Dental and then left completely satisfied. Their dental implant procedure is amazingly simple, low anxiety, and completely affordable. Today's technology makes your beautiful smile easier than ever. The staff at Today's Dental go out of their way to make you comfortable with calming in-office IV sedation that's administered by a highly skilled certified nurse anesthetist. And their multiple finance options make the entire procedure truly affordable. Want your smile to sound better? Give Today's Dental a call at 318-448-4540. It's a general dental facility on Highway 28 East in Pineville, owned by Dr. Jonas Goche. That's 318-448-4540.
Got a big day ahead of you? Then it's best to fuel up with some of St. Laws best at Bricado's Restaurant. Walk right in and just Smell that home-style cooking. Place your order, take a seat, and do breakfast right till 9:30 this morning. Get fresh biscuits, eggs any way you like them, melt in your mouth pancakes, grits, hash browns, sausage, bacon, even wraps and sandwiches. And don't forget their fresh brewed coffee. Ricardo's Restaurant, 28 West, right across from the Coliseum. Your breakfast is waiting for you.
If you're one of the millions of Americans behind on your taxes, if you're afraid to open your mail because IRS collection letters could be coming, listen carefully. The IRS is cracking down, taking paychecks, freezing bank accounts, revoking passports. That's a fact. But here's what most people don't know. There are official tax relief programs designed to help struggling taxpayers. Programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief. Optima's award-winning team will fight to protect your paycheck, your passport, and your property. Their tax attorneys and licensed tax professionals will work tirelessly to get you the best deal possible with the IRS. Every day, penalties and interest keep piling up, so don't wait. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-473-9933. 800-473-9933. 800-473-9933.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Now back to Talk Back. 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYL.
Paul Skeens, congratulations. He is your National League Cy Young Award winner. Doug, thank you again for the help there. So,
All right. That was big news last night. They announced the National League and American League Cy Young Award winners goes to the best pitcher in each league. Paul Skeens, the unanimous winner in the National League, and Tarek Skubal in the American League. And we can look forward to those two great pitchers being on the Dodgers or Yankees in a very short time. So,
You sound a little salty there.
well, already yesterday there were rumors going around the baseball world that Skeens told a teammate, an unnamed teammate, that he wants to play for the Yankees one day.
Al wants socialized baseball.
I do.
That's what he's calling for.
I am.
He wants fairness. He wants it to be fair.
Just like the NFL.
He wants the free market to not be a factor. More people like the Dodgers, more people like the Yankees, and they should be rewarded as such.
Oh, gosh.
Sorry, if it's not enough people like the Brewers, Alfred, you ought to buy a big player.
See what he's doing there? He's rage baiting me, as the kids say.
It's funny because I agree with you. So.
Yeah.
Not with socialism, with the...
No, I don't consider that socialism.
I'm just messing with you.
It's the revenue sharing that you see in baseball, in football and the NBA.
Next, Al's going to be voting for AOC and asking for
Bernie Sanders.
Healthcare.
It's not fair. It's not. All right, more coming up in hour number 2.
You've been listening to Talkback. The opinions expressed were those of the hosts and callers, and not necessarily those of Cenlaw Broadcasting.
AM 970, FM 104.9, KSYL, and KRRV 100.3, HD3, Alexandria.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. The end of the government shutdown will spell relief at the airports, but it's expected to take a while. Correspondent Chris Van Cleve at the airport in Phoenix.
The airlines are hoping they can seamlessly move into the Thanksgiving travel rush, which picks up the Friday before Thanksgiving. Aviation analytics company Cirium crunched some booking data that shows there was a pullback in the pace that people were booking travel for Thanksgiving starting around November 1st. And while Thanksgiving does look to be busier than last year, it may be less busy than earlier indications were pointing. And that tells us that at least some people either opted not to take a trip or opted to wait and see how things were going as delays and cancellations were climbing over the last 2 weeks.
There are more than 1,500 delays and cancellations in the U.S. so far today. The first lawsuit's been filed over the botulism outbreak linked to an infant formula.
A Kentucky couple claims ByHeart Whole Nutrition formula caused their 4-month-old daughter's botulism. She was hospitalized for 5 days. ByHeart has recalled the formula, which the CDC has linked to at least 15 cases since August. Dr. Stephen Abrams at the University of Texas says botulism can weaken an infant's neurological system.
They can't move as much. They get constipated. Eventually, if it's severe, which can happen especially in babies, they'll stop breathing.
This is the first known outbreak of infant botulism tied to powdered formula. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
An attempted murder indictment in a controversial police chase in Baltimore.
When a police officer threatens the safety of those who are sworn to protect, it erodes the crucial trust between the community and law enforcement.
City State's Attorney Ivan Bates. CBS's Tom Hansen has more.
The man appears to refuse and starts walking away. Officer Parks then allegedly tells the individual he's going to call the dogs and come get him before returning to his vehicle and pursuing the man through a vacant lot in his cruiser at a high rate of speed, allegedly striking him and nearly running him over.
An atmospheric river is bringing threats of high gusty winds and heavy rain to the West Coast. CBS meteorologist Rob Marciano.
San Francisco, eventually Santa Barbara, slight risk of seeing some flooding there. Then tomorrow down across parts of Southern California. And then over the weekend, especially on Saturday, Los Angeles to San Diego could see some heavy rain there and maybe some debris flows and mudslides.
The very last penny's been minted in Philadelphia. CBS's Jesse Mitchell.
Many big chains from Kroger to McDonald's are encouraging electronic payments and exact change, or they say they'll round cash purchases to the nearest nickel.
Dow futures are down 107. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Take the next step forward in your career with great benefits and an award-winning workplace. Apply at careers.progressive.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-497-0593. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-497-0593. That's 800-497-0593. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Louisiana Radio Network, I'm Sean Burns. Louisiana gets its infrastructure report card. Andrew Greenstein with details on how our state measures up.
The quadrennial report card was issued by the American Society of Civil Engineers.
Overall, the report card for 2025 in Louisiana is a C-.
Louisiana's best grades were C+ in aviation and solid waste. Its lowest grades of Ds were in roads and drinking water. Report card Chairman Kirk Lowry says while it certainly indicates room for improvement, Louisiana's overall grade is not far off from the nation's overall grade.
The national report card is a C right now.
I'm Andrew Greenstein.
The State Bond Commission has approved the City of New Orleans' request for a $125 million loan to cover payroll costs into January. Mayor LaToya Cantrell was not at the meeting, but Mayor-elect Helena Moreno was there and says her administration is already looking hard at operational efficiencies.
Everything is being looked at this point. I do not have a cent to waste.
LRN.
Attention all real estate agents, property owners, and lenders. When you or a client needs a real estate attorney, call the professionals at Thompson Law Firm. Whether the legal matter is basic or complex, the Thompson Law Firm can accurately guide you or your client to a successful outcome. That's why numerous industry professionals have trusted the Thompson Law Firm for years. They also handle estate planning, successions, and business law. Call them at 473-0052. I am a paid non-client attorney spokesperson.
Good morning. A mixture of sunshine and clouds on our Thursday. Not a bad day at all. 79 will be the afternoon high. Winds pretty much light and variable. Down tonight, a few clouds. We'll go down to 54 for the overnight low. And then get ready. Looks like, at least the next 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I will see sunshine each day, with afternoon highs about 80 to about 83. From the Cenla Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Grayson.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 18 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
It's Talkback, Central Louisiana's longest-running talk show. Whether it's the guests or the callers, Talkback is where Central Louisiana begins its conversation.
All right, we are back, everyone. Hour number 2 of Talkback here on a Thursday. Al Quartermont along with Stephen Maxwell. Very pleased to be joined with a couple of guests in studio. You all know Michael Wynn. He's a frequent guest here on Talkback, local author. And also, we have with us today Robert Olin Butler. He was a speaker last night at LSU Alexandria for the Authors Club and is a Pulitzer Prize-winning author. Not many people get to say that, but Robert Olin Butler does. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning. By the way, interestingly enough, and I think this is appropriate to Central Louisiana, everybody says Pulitzer, but in fact it's Pulitzer. Like the chicken.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's
Thank
Pulitzer.
Who says Pulitzer? Did you just say Pulitzer?
I would say Pulitzer.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Pulitzer.
Yeah.
Pulitzer.
Okay. Thank you for
Yeah,
correcting me
it's
on
named after a chicken. Yeah, no one.
Right.
That's a little known fact.
Named after
Mike is the master of trivia.
Okay.
It was named after a chicken.
No, it's named after Joseph Pulitzer.
Joseph Pulitzer, actually.
Yes. Which you should have learned that in journalism history.
Why would I need to know that in journalism?
In case you ever win an award.
Oh, yeah.
They
They're lining me up for that.
All right, but Robert Olin Butler has won an award, and you are no stranger to Louisiana. You taught for a time at McNeese.
I taught for 15 years at McNeese.
Wow.
Yeah. In fact, after I talk with you guys, I'm driving down to McNeese, and they have a couple of events down there over a couple of days. But yeah, I'm Lake Charles has a very important place in my heart.
Gotcha.
It's a wonderful place, and Southern Louisiana does too, actually.
Awesome. What was your journey that took you into becoming an author?
Wow, the journey started when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, my first interests were in acting, and I went to Northwestern in that, and then I went into playwriting.
Wow.
But then got gobbled up in a pre-lottery day draft. And ended up in Vietnam. But the Army sent me to language school for a year before I went over. And so when I got to Vietnam, I spoke fluent Vietnamese.
Really?
And really immersed myself in the country and its people. I worked out in the countryside for 5 months in woodcutters and farmers and fishermen. And then I worked in Saigon at the Saigon City Hall and spent my night every night wandering steamy back alleys of Saigon just on my own and crouching in the doorways with people and just immersing myself in their culture. They're warm, generous, spirited people.
Yeah.
So this is working around to how did I become a writer?
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of intense experiences that eventually, thanks to coming back to Southern Louisiana, my Pulitzer book is based on the fact that I was able, by way of Lake Charles, to familiarize myself with a Vietnamese immigrant community over in East Orleans Parish.
Oh, wow.
And and again, immersed myself into their culture and their lives there. And the book ended up being a book of short stories in the voices of Vietnamese immigrants living in Southern Louisiana.
Very cool.
So the name of the book is A Good Scent from a Strange Mountain.
That's right.
Kind of tell us more about it, what people can expect. It's a book of short stories.
That's a book of short stories. We're talking now about the 1992 book.
Okay.
But it is a book of stories, yeah.
Okay.
And each of them is in a different voice of a Vietnamese immigrant. Although it took 20 years to write that book, to get around to writing a book.
Mm-hmm.
And since I'm a creator of fiction, especially and more specifically literary fiction, I'm working from a creative imagination that is a compost heap of all of my life experiences. So none of these are journalism, as you gentlemen are part of, but created people that my imagination is able to resort and recombine into believable people that, however, in writing about them, illuminate sort of the larger issues of the human condition, which is what literary fiction is all about.
So when you do a book, and it's as you said, literary fiction, how do you do character development? Do you just kind of get like a thought in your mind of
It's not a thought. It's quite the contrary of thought. You're writing from, you inhabit the character. And actually, my early acting training helped me to be a writer, because you basically inhabit a created character. And in literary fiction, what you focus on is the thing that is at the heart of all human life, which is that we are our goals and objectives in life, whatever they are on the surface, down beneath, we are yearning to answer that great and enduring question: who am I? It's the search for self, for identity, and that's what's at the heart of my creation. And I inhabit characters who are seeking an identity as self, with whatever obstacles and challenges that brings, and that's what creates the narrative flow.
Kind of curious, do you have a favorite author you like to emulate, or just one that you enjoy?
No, it's I love went through a period of ravenous reading, but now I don't emulate writers. It's at some point you have to turn the corner and find out what your own deep individual vision of the world is, and I admire other writers, but ultimately now I really have to focus on my own vision of the world.
Who's your favorite? Who was your favorite back in the day?
Oh, back in the day, I loved some of the Russian writers that worked during the Stalinist period. Interesting. A guy named Mikhail Bulgakov wrote a book called The Master and Margarita, and Eugene Zamyatin, who wrote a book, kind of a dystopian novel called We. I mean, those books somehow are the ones that have stuck in my mind. And of course, the usual, Faulkner and Hemingway and those guys.
Oh, yeah.
But it just, you absorb all that. And the great British novelist Graham Greene said that all good novelists have bad memories. He says what you remember comes out as journalism, but what you forget goes into that compost of the imagination. And so the writers I love, my life experience, all the craft and technique I've learned and taught in writing, all that stuff has been forgotten and composted all together. And so when I sit down and go into a zone, like an athlete zone, writing at my, every morning, I go in there and there are people there and they begin to speak. And often when I'm really writing well, it feels like I'm channeling the voices rather than creating them.
Yeah. Russia belted out some good authors throughout the years. They got some.
Oh, you bet.
That's interesting the way you're describing it. And we should note that our guest, Robert Olin Butler, is also continuing. He's a professor at Florida State University. You teach creative writing. Is there one main tip you give to your students when it comes to writing creatively?
Well, again, the thing I teach is literary fiction, and so it is a special genre. We don't teach entertainment fiction, which also has characters with goals and objectives that are challenged and thwarted. That's what makes narratives. And when it's getting down to what I've already said, I've pretty much answered the question already, which is I teach them that when they enter their characters, if they're creating literature, it's not just to solve a crime or win a spouse or fight off the monsters or whatever. It's not those entertainment genres. It's really at the heart of it. Although some of those entertainment features can be on the surface, and I've written books that are in essence speculative fiction. I've written books that are just historical espionage thrillers. I've written I've written about romance indeed. But ultimately, underneath everything, and this is the answer to your question, the main thing you tell them is that when you create the characters, where you dwell inside that character is where they are seeking to answer that question, who the hell am I?
That's good.
Okay, this might be a stupid question, but sometimes you hear actors that says it kind of messes with them. When you get into that character's mindset, if they're a particularly unsavory one, does it kind of mess with you too? Do you have to get yourself out of it? Or?
Well, you certainly immerse yourself there, but again, if they are literary, I mean, Stephen King probably has more trouble with that than a literary writer, because we seek to understand the fuller human being.
Yeah.
No one is simply awful or wonderful, you know, and so as even as we might be overwhelmed by the awfulness of a character, we are open to finding the rub. You know, we're finding the way in which there are things inside them that move that work against that dominant seeming characteristic.
Go ahead, Al.
No, I was going to say, do you notice any changes in your students from, say, 10, 20 years ago to today's students?
I'm getting them at a graduate level or an advanced undergraduate level.
Gotcha.
But, you know, the undergraduates in particular, my graduate students, sometimes they're back at school. I mean, I've got 40-year-olds in my doing PhD work. But I think what you're getting at is really true. I mean, the world is drastically changing, as is the whole publishing world. And I went back to Vietnam last year, and I saw there the phenomenon that you can see and since I was in Saigon, everyone's kind of crunched together. So I know that almost every toddler with every mother, they've got a phone in their hand.
Wow.
We are all, and scientists tell us that people's brains are now, the next generations, their brains are actually being rewired to absorb the world, especially through words, in a much different way. The novel is a form. To sit down and read an 80,000 word, book.
Yeah.
That, 20 years from now, that's not going to be as common a thing. That we are learning, being wired, the next generations, to absorb in smaller increments. The YouTube phenomenon, it's the TikTok phenomenon. So it's going to be, there are changes afoot. I'm not seeing them quite yet, because even that generation is they're still reading books. They still have to.
Right.
And so they come to me, and I'm helping to open their minds and their consciousness to that. But the change is coming. It's a good question, because it truly is.
Awesome. Well, we do have a call. Well, they just dropped off. So go ahead, Stephen.
They're kind of want to go back to whenever you found out you won the Pulitzer. You always hear like Hemingway was on a boat fishing for marlins when he found out he won. Like, what were you doing?
I was sitting in my office in Lake Charles writing. The Pulitzer is an interesting thing in that they don't tell you directly that you won. They announce it. And then they like the first newspaper reporter lets you know. So I had previously done an interview with a guy named David Streifeld, who was a book reporter for the Washington Post, and he called me and said, "Hey, Dave, hey Bob, this is David Streifeld." I said, "Hey, David, how you doing?" "I'm doing." He says, "I'm fine." He said, "Listen, the reason I'm calling, I just wanted to ask you a couple of questions about your Pulitzer Prize." And I think my exact quote, it probably didn't make it into the story, but my exact quote was, so that's how I learned.
That's cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And it was an utterly unexpected thing.
Wow.
That's kind of weird. They don't just tell you.
Yeah,
it's kind of annoying.
Weird.
Huh? Yeah. But you weren't complaining, I bet.
Oh, no, I have no criticism of the Pulitzer Committee, no.
So do they fly you someplace to present that, or they just mail it to you?
No, you go to New York.
That's cool. Rub elbows with all the other.
And you get a little Tiffany paperweight.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sits next to my computer.
There you go. Awesome. What's your latest book that has come out?
Well, the new one is called Twice Around a Marriage, and this is about a couple, 72 years old, each of them, and they were married for 22 years, then they were divorced for 10 years, and then they remarried. And they've now heading toward the end of their 10th year in marriage, and they have come to Paris, France, not Texas, and they've gotten an Airbnb overlooking a park in the north of Texas where they met in 1968 during the student things. They were at the Sorbonne, foreign exchange students, because that's where they met, and so they've come back because they're trying to decide whether to stay together forever or get the hell away from each other. A second divorce that will just put the end to their long tale. But as soon as they get into that apartment, Paris shuts down for COVID.
Wow.
And so the two of them are trapped in this little 600 square foot apartment indefinitely. So they begin to being literary sorts. They go back to the very first collection of short stories ever written, basically. It was in the 14th century by a writer named Boccaccio, called the Decameron, which he wrote it during the time of the bubonic plague. And in it, there's a group of nobles that go off into the countryside and tell each other stories every night. And so here they are in the 21st century plague passing by. So they tell each other stories. They take turns telling each other stories about themselves, about their lives together and apart, to try to figure out what their future might be or not be together. And so that's the new book.
And where can people get that?
Well, ideally your wonderful local independent bookstore.
Right.
But I think I mentioned earlier, in spite of my Graham Greene and Good Novelist bad memory, I believe I mentioned to you the fact that the world is changing.
Yes, it is.
And bookstores are tough.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it, but I think Amazon is probably the place to go. You get just 25% off, I think.
Twice Around a Marriage. Very good. And Michael, before we let you go, you guys have another Authors Club meeting coming up next week, I think.
Yes, we have another extraordinary speaker, Jason Berry. He is an internationally known investigative reporter. He's won every award practically every award you can imagine. He's going to give an extraordinary talk next week, Thursday, November 20th, 6 p.m., West Side Regional Library. This is his only appearance ever in North Louisiana. Wow. It's a fascinating story why he's coming as a favorite to me, which we don't have time for. But he is another author not to miss. He's going to give a talk about everything from the Catholic Church and the priest scandal to all sorts of other different things that he is investigating. He's a film documentarian. It's a great time. And if anybody has any questions, give me a call at 787-1917, 787-1917. Next week, next Thursday night, West Side, 6 p.m.
All right, very good. Michael Wynn. Robert Olin Butler has been our guest. Again, he is a Pulitzer Prize-winning author. Thank you for correcting me on that, and I'll never forget it now. So thank you so much for being here today. It was great visiting.
Great to be with you, Alan C.
Yeah, it was great. Thanks so much.
Sir. We're back right after this.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 18 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
Style, savings, and a sale like no other. The Abigail's annual warehouse sale is back bigger and better than ever. November 13th and 14th, 9 to 5. The deals are unbelievable. Save up to 90% off wholesale prices. Shop new items, samples, overstocks, and discontinued pieces with new merchandise added all day long. When it's gone, it's gone. So don't wait. The Abigail's annual warehouse sale. The 13th and 14th on Industrial Street next to Lowe's.
You too could have a beautiful smile in as little as 12 weeks. Exclusive to Today's Dental in Pineville, Virtual Align Clear Aligners. The fastest, most convenient, affordable way to straighten your teeth for people on the go. Plus, they're invisible. No one will know you're doing it. Experience the Virtual Align difference. Call Today's Dental at 448-4540. It's a general dental facility on Highway 28 East in Pineville, owned by Dr. Jonas Goche. 448-4540.
Why is sugarcane so popular in Louisiana? 19,000 jobs annually, $7 million in tax dollars for roads, schools, and first responders. It's a $4 billion industry. Sugarcane, #1 in Louisiana. Learn more at lacane.org.
Tiger Rag Magazine subscribers are LSU fans in the know. Tiger Rag Magazine gives you exclusive stories, beautiful pictures, and behind-the-scenes insights. Subscribe today and be in the know at tigerrag.com.
A message from Israel Air Conditioning and Heating.
Yeah, my mama, she told me to pick up and call Israel Air.
She told me Israel Air. She told me.
She said they'll come running with comfort beyond compare.
And a very fair price.
Because you know we're all about your comfort, got your comfort, no troubles. Call 442-6657. That's 442-6657. We're all about your comfort, got your comfort.
If you'd like to take part in the show today, call the BOM Bank Talk line at 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. And remember, if you're looking to purchase or refinance your home, call Christina Bagwell at the BOM Bank Mortgage Department at 448-2430.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYL. Now back to Talkback.
All right, that was a cool conversation. Always fascinating to kind of get in the mind of an author and see what motivates them and drives them. And Robert Olin Butler, very interesting guy.
Yeah, Pulitzer nonetheless. Pretty cool.
You're a much more avid reader than I.
I love it.
I'm more of a...
Your favorite author is St. Paul.
Well, yes. I'm more of a... I spend a lot of time reading more articles and news stuff. So it doesn't give me a lot of, like, relaxation time to read. I probably should do more of that. Really should.
Well, you know, newspapers are more on a 5th grade reading level.
Last weekend, I actually rearranged all my... Yeah, that's true. Rearranged all of my bookshelves. I have 2 bookshelves and got it nice and organized and looks great. And I'm like, man, I have so many cool books I should be reading.
Well, if you don't want to give them to me, I like
one day I'll read them.
Collecting them.
Yeah. A lot of sports books and a lot of theology books.
I love books.
You're more history and...
I love fiction.
Fiction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to ask him if he liked some of my favorite books, but I didn't want to be annoying. So,
what are your favorite books?
My favorite fiction book is probably 100 Years of Solitude. Love that book.
Who's that by?
Gabriel Garcia, the Colombian writer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what else? I like all the Hemingway books.
I think the last full big book that I read was the Steve Jobs biography by Walter Isaacson. I do really like biographies. That's even from when I was a kid. I would devour sports biographies. My parents would, if they found them at garage sales or flea markets, that's what they would buy me. So,
really,
I read all about, really, that's why I knew so much about sports from like the 50s and 60s, 70s, because I was always reading books about those people. Hank Aaron, Willie Mays, Leo DeRocher. I love that book. That's one of my all-time favorite books. Nice Guys Finish Last. It was about...
I think I've heard of that.
Leo DeRocher was the longtime Major League manager. He was manager of the Giants, the Dodgers. He would have been the Dodgers manager when Jackie Robinson came in, but he got suspended for was an association with gamblers or something. I don't know, but he got suspended for like a year. But he was an interesting character.
The one I'm reading now is actually, it's kind of ironic. It's about based out of a infamous school out of Tallahassee. It's called the Nickel Boys.
The Nickel Boys?
There's a infamous school out there where it's like where troubled kids go, segregated back in the day, and just some of the horrors they went through. And so a guy wrote a book based on it, just kind of changed some of the names.
Yeah.
It's really good. Almost done with it.
Probably one of the more interesting books I read at about 13 years old was the biography of Wilt Chamberlain. After that, I didn't need sex education class.
I bet. My favorite biography is the Ulysses Grant one.
Oh.
The one that, what's his name? Dadgummit. He writes all those books. Is it McCullough?
I don't know. A good book, too, if you want to read a great sports biography, is When Pride Mattered, about Vince Lombardi. You know, you probably wouldn't like it.
Oh, Ron Chernow.
Ron Chernow.
Chernow, I'm sure. It was a good book. Very interesting. Very exhaustive.
When Pride Still Mattered, The Life of Vince Lombardi by David Marinus. Highly recommend that book.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't like Vince Lombardi.
You'd like this book, then.
I do like Vince Lombardi.
You know, he and Tom Landry were on the Giants coaching staff together.
Yep.
And one went to Green Bay and one went to Dallas.
Who was more successful?
On balance, well, I mean, Lombardi won more championships. Well, he won
Same
2
amount of Super Bowls.
Yeah, but he did have those NFL championships before that, which are equivalent of Super Bowls.
The trophy's named after him.
Yeah.
But Tom Landry is more successful.
Think so.
Oh, yeah.
He had a longer career, but Lombardi also died from cancer. So had Lombardi lived another 4 or 5 years, I wouldn't doubt that the Redskins would have won a couple Super Bowls because he was building a great team there.
No, I forgot he went there.
Yeah. Yep. Incredible story. But anyway, we need to take a break. We'll come back.
This is Dr. Jonathan Hunter with the clinics. We provide primary, family, and chronic care along with gastroenterology, podiatry with on-site lab and x-ray services. I'm pleased to welcome family physician Dr. Noah Miller to our team. We are currently accepting new patients and same-day appointments are available. If you're admitted into the hospital, our doctors will see you there as well. Most insurance and Medicare are accepted. The clinic's on North Dalton, 445-9823, and online at theclinics.us.
Is your website accessible to everyone? If it's not WCAG compliant, you could be excluding customers and opening yourself up to lawsuits. At Kinetics, we build and optimize websites that meet WCAG accessibility standards, helping you serve more people, convert more customers, and stay compliant with ADA guidelines. Don't risk it. Get your free website accessibility assessment today at kinetics.solutions. That's kinetics.solutions. Kinetics, where smart marketing works.
Here's the tale of the daily Medfield. Same old pharmacy, same old bill, but those prices kept rising higher still.
Till the savings Wrangler rode in, cool as can be at GoodRx, saving massively.
No plan? Don't matter none. Up to 80% off. Deals are done.
Discounts hitting harder than Ma's chili. Dang, that one little half does all the rest.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Good morning. A mixture of sunshine and clouds on our Thursday. Not a bad day at all. 79 will be the afternoon high. Winds pretty much light and variable. Down tonight, a few clouds. We'll go down to 54 for the overnight low. And then get ready. Looks like, at least next 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we'll see sunshine each day with afternoon highs about 80 to about 83. From the Cenla Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Grayson.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO.
Going to go down. It went the exact opposite with the biggest increase of healthcare in any country. It's a disaster. And I'm calling today for insurance companies not to be paid, but for the money, this massive amount of money, to be paid directly to the people of our country so that they can buy their own health care, which will be far better and far less expensive than the disaster known as Obamacare. And I've had, I think, great support. I've even had Democrat support. So we want the money that would be going to the insurance company, which is hundreds of billions of dollars. You know, their stock prices have gone up by 1,000% in many cases, 1,000% over a short period of time, because our country stupidly pays them so much money with this Obamacare scandal. So I want the money to go directly to you, the people. And you go out and you'll buy your own health insurance and you'll negotiate different plans and you'll get much better insurance, and you will be an entrepreneur for yourself. So I'm always willing to work with anyone, including the other party. We'll work on something having to do with healthcare. We can do a lot better. We can do great. So much money is involved, and we're willing to pay so much money to the people. So we're going to pay a lot of money to the people. They're going to go out and buy their own healthcare, and we're going to forget this Obamacare madness. So with all of that, I just want to tell you the country has never been in better shape.
All right, that was President Trump yesterday after he signed the bill that ended the shutdown. What do you think of that whole idea?
You got to do something, and they know they have to do something because it wasn't really talked about during the campaign, at least on the right.
Yeah.
But they know it's a big issue, especially for younger voters, for a lot of people. I would consider myself a populist. Let's actually handle the problems that people want fixed, and healthcare is one of the top ones.
So to summarize what he's saying is they would take the money that's going to the insurance companies and give it to you, the people.
I care about two things the most with the federal government. Otherwise, I just don't care. Like, we don't need to care so much all the time. Fix healthcare. Get money out of politics. We need to pass a constitutional amendment or something. Or probably our country was the greatest when we didn't have all this huge money buying off our politicians. They're not working for you half the time.
Right.
They're working for the big donors that give them money.
Right. Absolutely, 100%.
If we could change those two things, I think our lives will get significantly better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your politicians would hopefully actually work for you. That would be nice.
That would be refreshing. So
I'm talking about on a federal, national level.
Yes, yes. We shall see if anything goes of that. But
well, it's better to have than just a concept of a plan, which is what he said during the campaign. So if we have an actual concrete plan, it's probably going to have to be bipartisan.
Yeah.
You know, and because the Democrats, especially your AOC wing, they're pounding healthcare, and young people, it resonates with them.
Sure,
it should resonate with you too.
Yeah.
You know, it's expensive. It was bad before Obamacare.
Yep.
Some might say it got worse with Obamacare.
Yeah.
But it's bad. And it's the biggest scam of all time in America.
Yeah.
And we're talking about people wanting to move away, this, that, and the other, and we should appreciate what we have here. We should. It's a great country. I love America. But our healthcare is screwed up. It's a scam. Yep. And they're screwing you every day.
Absolutely.
And so let's fix it.
100%. I agree. 100%.
Because if you don't come up with a plan, you're going to have the only ones talking is socialized medicine or some sort of socialized medicine. And there are different plans too. France's is different from England's. England's is different from Switzerland's, from Denmark. Ones that a lot on the left like to point to. Completely different. Heck, Switzerland is probably more free market than we are. It's not free market now.
It really isn't.
No.
Costa had a plan.
You in Switzerland, you would have more of a choice on what you could do. You have to pay for it.
Yeah.
You have higher taxes on it, but you have a choice. We got to figure out something. And I'm all for it. I'm glad he's talking about it.
You know, as much as we've always talked about this issue here on the show, and I kind of called for this earlier, we've never, that I can remember, had anyone in the actual healthcare industry, whether it be a doctor, somebody who works at a hospital, a nurse, ever that I can remember call in to the show and talk about this and what they see from their end of it.
And it's such a complicated issue, too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's different lobbyists, big pharma. We always talk about big pharma. The Doctors Association.
Oh, yes.
There are some that claim they try and keep only a certain amount of doctors to keep the wages up.
Yeah.
There's so many different factors in this that are complicating this system. Meanwhile, we're all getting screwed.
I mean, money, we know that it can be a very corrupting influence. It's corrupted a lot of our politics, but it's also corrupted a lot of the healthcare industry, too, including sometimes even individual doctors.
Yeah.
Who maybe don't have always the patient's best care at heart as it is to make a buck.
I just don't know why, like, even like MAGA supporters, this should be right down their alley.
Yeah.
Let's stop the big money in politics, which is also affecting healthcare. Stop.
Well, I think that's why Kennedy was a popular selection among MAGA, but I feel like the MAHA movement it's run into a lot of roadblocks, and that's exactly what it is. It's the money involved. You're really starting to get into a lot of these pet projects and these kickbacks and donations and all that stuff.
But my problem is we all say these things, but they're all still taking money and enriching themselves.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, even the guys on your side, they're doing it. It has to stop.
You're right.
Or we're going to have the same problems. They don't represent you.
Yeah.
This is not capitalism anymore half the time. It's corporatism.
Yep. Yes.
Corporations are running our country.
I've been saying that for a while.
And they're doing these culture wars where we got people talking about transvestites and we got talking about gay rights and we got people talking about this, that, and the other, making us look left and right. Stop looking left and right. Look up. It's the same.
Yeah.
It's the same people.
Yeah.
And they've bought and paid for your politicians where they're not really doing the populist thing. I'm not trying to be critical. I think Trump talking about this is great. There's things I agree with him. I do.
Yeah.
But I want him to be a true populist.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a lot of it seems fake to me. But if we move in this direction, I'd love to see it.
Yeah.
You know, we got to start taking care of America and American problems, or we're going to be in the same boat.
Less talk and a lot more action. I think that's a country music song.
And you can't always get what you want. But if you try, you'll find what you need. But you really can't. There's got to be compromise. The country's very divided on a bunch of different things. He can't just do everything he wants, and Democrats can't do everything they want.
Mm-hmm.
But the Democrats do it too. They talk this big talk, and when they get into office,
they don't
do it. And there's always some excuse.
Yeah.
You know, like from the left populist standpoint of more socialized medicine or these different programs, paid family leave, they always get right to the cusp of it. It was on the campaign, and then last moment, those donors kick in, and it stops. But there's always an excuse.
Yeah.
They're not working for you. That's the problem.
Yeah. All right, we'll take a break. More coming up.
KSYL.
President Trump believes in America. He knows we can do big things. We've done it before, and we'll do it again. That's why Trump is fighting for carbon capture.
When I'm back in the White House, I will bring back a pro-American energy policy at long last. The return of American jobs and the American dream will be powered by the return of American energy.
With carbon capture, Louisiana's oil and gas economy can thrive, creating thousands of good-paying jobs and provide massive local dollars for our schools, roads, and communities.
The American dream will soon be back and thriving like never before.
Trump supports carbon capture because he believes in America and in building a stronger future for Louisiana families. To join President Trump in his fight for American energy, Louisiana jobs, and carbon capture, visit MAGAenergy.la. MAGAenergy.la. Paid for by MAGA Energy Project.
For the city. This group loves to compete. This group's not going to back down from anybody. We bleed. There's a lot of joy competing with these kids. Yeah, blue. And I know we're going to fight and scratch and claw to compete for Conference USA Championship.
Join us Saturday. It's a West Coast road trip to Pullman to face Washington State. Our coverage begins at 7:30 on your home for Bulldogs football.
Louisiana Tech football, exclusively in Cenla on 94.7 ESPN.
From America's #1 travel radio show, I'm Robert Carey.
And I'm Mary Carey.
And this is your RM World Travel Minute for November 13th as we report to you from Bonaire in the Caribbean.
As I mentioned yesterday,
yesterday, and it's actively being shared across our RM Real Travel social channels on Instagram, Facebook, X, and LinkedIn. All this week, the big Let's Go America Tour NYC to MIA via the ABCs is happening.
Yes, it is. As part of our new partnership, folks, with Regent that we announced a few weeks ago, Mary and I have been traveling aboard their Seven Seas Splendor as we left New York aboard their ship back on November 2nd.
This Saturday from 10 a.m. to noon Eastern Time, Robert and I are going to broadcast the 2-hour weekend version of RM Real Travel live from Aruba, where we're headed next. And we hope all of you will tune in via one of our 610 weekly stations out there across the U.S. or access the show using the Listen Live button on our show website.
You know, we have a truly big show planned as we share all the places we've been traveling. Plus, we're going to give you an insider report on cruising with Regent Seven Seas.
Indeed, we are. Share your comments with us on social media. More tomorrow, everyone, and on Saturday, too. So stay with us and happy travels.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO. To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. Talk back.
You know, this is one thing my colleagues and I really agree on, is the importance of bringing civic education to our children. Over half of Americans can't pass the citizenship exam we expect people who come to this country to pass. Most Americans cannot name the 3 branches of government. And if you ask me what the greatest danger America faces today, it's itself. And we have to learn how to talk to one another. We need to know our shared history. And I think if we do that, we'll come to realize that all the things that separate us pale in comparison to the things that unite us, those 3 great ideas in the Declaration. And so, yeah, I wanted to be part of America's celebration and bringing us together again.
That's Supreme Court Justice Neil Gorsuch. He has a new book out. It's called Heroes of 1776. Heroes of 1776. And it spotlights some of the people that were foundational to our country: Thomas Jefferson, George Washington, Ben Franklin, Paul Revere. And it's more like a children's book.
So that's awesome. We recently went through the whole citizenship test thing.
Yeah.
My wife was naturalized over a year ago now. And we practiced nonstop.
Wow.
And I guarantee you she knew more about American history than the majority of people out there. And she did well. She passed them all. The test wasn't nearly as hard as the practice test.
Okay.
Like when you went to the USCIS, it was not nearly as hard.
Yeah.
It was easy questions.
Did you get most of it right? Were you familiar with a lot?
Like that's I'm not perfect. I'll get stuff wrong.
Yeah.
But that's kind of my thing. I love it. So it was fun to actually help her practice for those tests. What she's studying now, I hate helping her. I want to talk about catheters and, blood pressure and all that kind of stuff. But she likes school and stuff. And, we always, and I know a lot of people out there know this, but we always talk about like immigrants and we're lumping them in the pile.
Yeah.
My wife literally got here 10 years ago. She worked 3 jobs to make sure she could survive. 3 jobs by herself in a new place.
Wow.
Worked very hard for this. So there's a lot of people out there working very hard. And I'm very proud of her. Probably did more than I would, to be honest with you.
Yeah, your wife's awesome. So she's the American dream.
She is. She is.
You married the American dream.
And she brought her good food with her.
And her silent treatment.
And her silent.
When Steven messes up.
Which is every day. Every day.
You should be like Charlie Kirk and ask her every day how you can be a better husband.
We'll be there all day, I'm sure. I can't ask that. I got things to do.
Good morning. You're on Talkback.
Hey, Al, Steve, it's Brad. How you doing?
Bradley, how are you, sir?
I'm hanging in there, just recovering from New York. Somebody threw me a life jacket, so I wound up making it out of there from last week. But
how'd you swim from New York to Chicago?
If you got the will, there's a way. You got to get out of that town. Got to get out of both towns. There's just no river outside Chicago that's healthy enough to swim in at all. But oh boy, I think I forget to tell you guys. I think they found like 75 cars in the river that were like dumped in the Chicago River. There might have been over 100 actually. I'll see if I can find the article. But,
wow.
Yeah, over years and years. Big surprise. But what I was calling it to see, or if you guys saw it or talked about, because I missed some of the shows this week. Did you guys catch the interview with Laura Ingraham and Trump?
Yes.
And you guys talk about how he said there is not enough tech people here.
Yes.
In the United States, supposedly.
We didn't talk about it because it was Monday night. I wasn't on yesterday.
I didn't see it till yesterday, actually.
Oh, wait, my bad. It was yesterday.
I'm saying I didn't see it till yesterday.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we didn't get to talk about it yet, but yes, I know. So that was in response to Laura Ingraham brought up how he wants to bring 600,000 Chinese students to America and for the purpose of them working in the tech industry. And I know this has a lot to do with the HB1 visa program as well. So what are your thoughts on it?
I think we have plenty of tech people, and I can tell you as a 32-year tech veteran who's been there, done that, seen it. I was on the internet in 1987 with a company called CompuServe. We have the tech, we have the people. Yeah, CompuServe. Remember that? And ColecoVision computers. I had a BBS that I started with a Commodore 64 in my own neighborhood, and we were so hard up as young men to find scantily clad women. We would just draw pictures with numbers and shapes. You know what I mean? It's that early, man. And we got bored with that. We went and played ColecoVision and Intellivision and suffered with Atari. But the thing is we have the manpower here. And for him to say that, I have to say this out loud, unless he changes his tune and apologizes to IT tech guys like myself, he's lost my support and vote. Wow. Because there's so many of us out here that have spent years and years developing, creating apps that were super easy to use because you had a generation coming up that would complain if the button was too hard to press or they had to think. So you had to make every user interface and we always had a saying, keep it simple, stupid. So we've spent a lot of time. We invested our own hard work and our own energy into all of this, and we were supposed to reap the benefits of this. These senior IT guys like myself. Not that I want to sit back in a chair and boss people around. Matter of fact, I want to be out of the office and possibly working remotely and saving costs as much as possible. But I don't want to be saving costs to the extent and the detriment of my own citizens. Yeah. So many of my friends have lost their homes. They've lost families because of the layoffs. You got companies like Coca-Cola being massively caught in hiring practices now that are, depending on your background, your skin color, all these things. It's just completely unfair. And what really bothered me the most is that for years and years in his first administration, he would talk about how cryptocurrency was bad. It was for child pornographers. It was for drug dealers, for money launderers, for this and that. You had Elizabeth Warren even up there and getting up there with Jamie Dimon of Chase Bank and all these people for nearly 15 years telling you it's terrible, and especially Trump. And now his family and him and his companies, they own more cryptocurrencies than a lot of countries.
$800 million.
Exactly. And they basically waited and put you down and made it absolutely incredibly difficult for developers like myself or IT guys to even help America. We wanted to push this technology to get ahead of it. And I don't necessarily think that we are ahead of it. I think this is going to be a global thing that people are going to put together. See, for years and years, they always wanted to get people into the mindset of a one world currency and a one world this. Well, that didn't work. And they couldn't even use the term CBDC, which was a central bank digital currency, because the marketing didn't work there well either, and people started to revolt. Well, so what they realized is, we have to create an illusion of choice. Let's create an illusion of choice where we have all of these cryptocurrencies available, but guess what? It's all going to be tracked by one big blockchain. And we're still going to figure out a way to tax you in real time. We're still going to be able to be like Walmart, which that's part of my subject here. They're encompassing the all-in-one app, like a super app, like a WeChat, like they have in China, where everything you do, from your grocery list to what you buy, to your coupons, to your banking, to everything goes through one app. Literally through every single thing you say, creates a database, gives you a social credit score, and then tells you if you can't work, like what's about to happen in the UK if they don't revolt over there. And my gosh, if anybody has a little bit of extra energy, throw it over to the people in the UK, because the guy, I can't think of his name now, it's just one of those really dark-looking, evil politicians said, if you don't get a digital ID, you're not going to be able to work. And that was the only one that I needed to hear publicly as an IT veteran to realize they're coming with so much force, because I believe the system is at such a tipping point. They have to turn around and figure out a way to get this digital currency in so they can check it in real time, validate it. And I'm sorry, when you have guys like Trump saying that we don't have the manpower here, what are you saying to the people of your own country? Right. I don't know. Like I said, you got to keep these guys poked with a poker here, and you got to keep the eye on them left and right, because he basically got all of his friends involved. They bought it, and now they're going to turn the tables and come to everybody and say, hey, guess what? Retail should get into this. You know, in case we have a problem, maybe you should have a little bit of cryptocurrency. Maybe might help you. You just watch the narrative. I promise you that will be the next one. And I just want everybody to stay informed. You know, this is something that you can't be afraid of. If it's uncomfortable to talk about, you have to talk about it, because it's coming in like a runaway. It's coming in like 10 runaway freight trains. Yeah. So I just want to make sure, and please go watch the interview. If anyone hasn't seen it out there, that's really what I want to say, because it might set you off just enough to start really looking into things. And as always, guys, great show this week, everything. I didn't get to catch a lot of them, but I appreciate the forum that you guys let me get the word out.
Yeah, appreciate you. All right, man. Have a good one too, dude.
We'll talk soon, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Yes, sir. You too.
Bye-bye.
We'll be right back.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics.
Ready for the ultimate game day? This football season, Southern Air and LSU Athletics want you as the Southern Air fan of the game. Each week, one lucky winner scores 4 LSU home game tickets, VIP hospitality, pregame sideline access, and the chance to cheer on the Tigers. Plus, all winners are entered to win a brand new side-by-side at season's end. Enter now at southernairnow.com or Southern Air's Facebook page. Southern Air, cooling, heating, plumbing, and generators. Learn more at southernairnow.com. Go Tigers.
Get ready to unwrap the magic of December in Alexandria Pineville. Create wonderful holiday memories with a stroll through the Alexandria Zoo with thousands of lights and whimsical lighted animal figures. Join us at Alex Winterfest, a free festival in downtown Alexandria, packed with fun for all ages, December 4th through 6th. For a complete and detailed list of all the exciting events happening in December, go to explorealexandriapineville.com and visit explorelouisiana.com to plan your trip today.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO. To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK-TALKBACK.
All right, we are back. A couple minutes left in the show. Still time to call in if you'd like to at 318-442-8255. What's on the news agenda for today?
Checking out the Pineville Farm Stand, kind of see what they got going on. Is what it's called? The one in
military?
My Pops.
Yeah. Okay.
Check that out. They got some good stuff going on over there. I have to go, or I am going, to an event at LSUA. Going to be a panelist for their communications thing they got going on.
Oh, okay.
And
a panelist.
Might have another, I can't say it. Might have a decently breaking story eventually. We'll see.
Okay.
That was a horrible tease, I know.
Might have. Keyword might.
Sew up some information. Should be good to go on.
Yeah.
Kind of a big story yesterday. Alexandria Country Day announced that they're closing down their high school at the end of this year.
I saw that.
That's the one that's on LSUA's campus.
Did they say why? Is it just they don't know for?
Well, they didn't give a statement, but LSUA gave a statement saying that they pointed at enrollment and sustainability issues, just probably not making enough money. That was previously University Academy, and it was basically bought out by ACDS to control or to take it over.
Right.
Had it for a couple of years, and they announced that they will be shutting that down. So.
Wow.
But really, when you think, a lot of people probably didn't even know ACDS was running that program.
Yeah.
Because they're known for their, middle and elementary schools. So.
Yeah. True. All right. So make sure you check out our social media pages, KSYL, Sentinel Broadcasting, and Stephen Maxwell TV.
We didn't even talk about Epstein today.
I know. It's a nothing burger.
Yep, gotta have more evidence. Plain and simple.
Yep. All right. Moon's coming up next. Can't wait to hear his reaction to the Scheck-Snyder story. This is gonna.
That was so dumb.
I'm getting my popcorn ready for this one. Talk to you tomorrow, everyone.